Hello and good evening. My name is Rich Artichoker and I am the founder and creator of the 7th Gen Academy. And tonight we're going to be discussing how to identify your ideal customer, your super fan, your number one fan, the person who's going to be the most likely to engage with you and to purchase your music and to support you on every level. And let's begin this conversation by first talking about what the difference is between a customer and a fan. And I know from many conversations over the years with multiple musicians that most musicians think of the people who they play their music for that support them at least on an emotional and social level as their fans, and they also think of these same people, these fans, as their customers, the same ones who purchase their music. And the truth of the matter is that that may have been true in the past, but today, with all the distractions that we have today, really, in all honesty, a fan is not necessarily a customer. And we'll just, let's say, for example, I know of one case, kind of a case study where a particular band had over 10,000 fans on their Facebook fan page. But after releasing a new album, they went back and looked at their sales analytics and discovered that for that 10,000 people they had on their fan page, they only sold something like 1,100 copies of the album. So how did that happen? What happened there? Why didn't those 10,000 people get motivated and take action? And why didn't they have 10,000 sales? And the reason is because it's just pure human psychology. People are not as inclined to take action as they used to be, especially in an environment which we have nowadays with all the social media and streaming of music and videos and all these other things. It's so easy to get things for free that they're not going to be as inclined to go out and purchase your music anymore. And that's just a simple fact of the market these days. In order to get a fan to convert and become a customer, you need to add value. But you also need to really focus your marketing and sales efforts on people who are what we would call in the digital marketing business pre-qualified. These are folks who are already motivated, they have the resources, and they're really already engaged with what it is that you're trying to do. These people have a need or a problem that your music and your brand, your persona is already, they're a perfect match. It's kind of like the love at first sight thing, where you place your products and your band in front of this person and they're just going to jump on it like, like a frog on a bug. So it's important to understand that in order to create conversions from, converting a fan to a customer, you really need to identify those people within that particular market who are already wanting to buy, who are already really interested in what you're doing and have the motivation and the resources to do that, to buy from you. So that's what this is all about. That's what the marketing is. You're really trying to reach out and share your message and your services and your products and create value in that person's life so that they in turn will come back and be more willing to exchange something of value for that. In this case, we're asking for them to purchase our music and our merchandise and generate sales for us. So that's what this is all about. So let's get to the good stuff. So identifying your ideal customer, identifying who that person is that you're really going to resonate with, that's going to be highly motivated to take action once they get to know you, once they engage with you, once they recognize that you've got products and services out there that they want. Um, it requires that you do a little bit of mental work. in order to really identify that person. And this process of doing this, I know a lot of you are going to feel like, oh, this doesn't even make any sense. How does this help me in any way? And it feels a lot like mental masturbation in the very beginning. And what I mean by that is, the very first time you do this, sit down to create a ideal customer profile, a super fan profile, whatever you want to call it, you're going to feel a lot like you're just making it up. And in some ways you kind of are, but you're basing it on your experience with the people that you've already interacted with, the fans that you've already interacted with. And you're also basing it on your own experience with who you are and who you're a fan of, and how, what kind of things motivate you to engage with, the artists and people that you really idolize and are fans of as well. So there's a little bit of kind of voodoo to this process, but there's also some scientific basis for this process, and it's very important. And of course, you're going to fine tune this whole process as you go. The more experience you get, the better you get at sales and marketing. You're going to fine tune this even more until you get where you're really targeted and you can engage that one person who is absolutely ready for you, ready to engage with you, and ready to buy your music, ready to buy your merchandise, and is just willing to become a full-fledged member of your tribe. So without further ado, let's talk about this. Okay, so creating your ideal customer profile. So like so many other things that we're going to talk about, you want to kind of reverse engineer this process. You want to start with a big picture and then kind of whittle it down to where you've got this profile of an individual person who's going to be your ideal customer. So we start with some general information. We start with some general stuff, like, for example, is your ideal customer male or female? How about how old are they? And in the beginning, it's okay to kind of be general. You can say, oh, they're somewhere between 18 and 29. You could say that. But as you get better at this process, you really want to really focus down and find a specific age, because ultimately what you want is you want a profile of a person. And this is the person that you're going to be speaking to with all of your marketing efforts. You want to have this one person in mind, like this person is your best friend and you're having a conversation with them. So ultimately you want to really narrow it down as narrow as you possibly can. So, but in the beginning, as I said, it is okay to kind of have a range, an age range. So are they male? Are they female? About how old are they? Where are they from? Are they American? Are they Canadian? Are they North American? Are they Latino? Are they from Central America? What region are they from? And what area are you going to focus? I think for most of us, when we're starting out, it is important to kind of, you may want to kind of stick to a demographic that is more or less known to you. Let's say, for example, I'm a Native American person from the Midwest in America. And so it is much easier for me to identify with and to have a certain perspective on what it is that Native American people from the upper Middle West, what kind of cultural and things that they do and believe, and certain social perspective. So it is easier for me to think about somebody like that. So that's something to keep in mind as you're going through this. So region, what region are these people from? And if you want to focus on Americans, that's fine, but we're going to continue to whittle down, and so just keep that in mind. The closer you can get to identifying one individual person who is your compadre, your man Friday or your girl Friday, that you can engage with, and is going to engage with you and give you feedback when you put something out there in your marketing. The better off you are. So keep that in mind. So think about their social status. Are these folks, are they wealthy? Are they affluent? Are they middle class? Are they kind of in the lower middle class, or are they even poor? you know. Um, and again, a lot of these things that we're going to be talking about, these concepts, we're not doing this to be exclusionary or racist or prejudiced in any way. All we're doing is we're creating a profile of that one person who ultimately gets us and we get them and we can engage with and is going to be responsive to our marketing efforts. That's all we're trying to do here. So some of the concepts, some of the questions that we're going to be asking about this person, it may kind of feel a little weird asking about, well, is this person poor or are they rich? Is this person black? Is this person white? Are they Hispanic? Are they Asian? Are they Native American? Whatever. Some of these questions, you have to kind of put that part of your mind that says, oh, this is prejudiced or this is racist or whatever out of your head, because you're not really trying to be prejudiced or racist. You're just simply trying to identify a person, a specific personality type. Okay. Excuse me. So, religion. Um, what kind of, are these people religious? And are they, what religion? Are they Christian? Are they Muslim? Are they Jewish? Hindu? Whatever, these are important questions to answer. Education level. What kind of education do these people have? Are they highly educated? Are they upper, people with upper graduate degrees? Or are they people who have 4-year college degrees? Are they somebody with only a high school education? Or are they somebody that's very uneducated? It's important to identify that as well. Cultural and regional kind of beliefs and ideas, what, as we're going back to the whole idea of where are these people from, do these people have very specific cultural traditions and regional traditions that and regional perspectives that they identify with. And so as you can see, we're starting to we're kind of narrowing things down. So the other thing that we might want to take a look at is what kind of things do these people do for leisure? What kind of hobbies do they have? What kind of activities do they do for fun? What do these people do for where do they spend their money? Where do they go? Do they go to the mall, or do they kind of spend most of their time in a coffee shop? Are these people what kind of personality types are they? Are these active people? Are they type A active, always out doing something, engaging with something? Or are they more introverted types of folks? Do they have kind of like subculture-ish types of tendencies? Like, for example, emo, or are they more hip hop, or that kind of thing? These folks, what kind of things are they passionate about? What things really kind of get them excited and get them passionate? Do they have social issues that they are engaged with and that they are passionate about? Global warming, or like the pipeline that is trying to come through the central part of America. Whatever social issue they may be attracted to or passionate about, that's something to consider. What kind of things really piss them off? What kind of things aggravate them and get them angry? These are all important, and they're kind of the flip side of the same coin. You got what things make them passionate, what things really piss them off. Because they're both things that we can engage with in order to create a conversation with these folks. Do these people, are they technologically inclined? Are they really knowledgeable about the internet and about computers and other things like that? Are these people musicians? What are their vocations and what are their avocations? And what I mean by that is, are these people, what do they do for a living? What kind of jobs do they do? What kind of work do they do? What kind of work do they like to do? And what do they do for hobbies? What do they do on their own spare time that engages them? As you can see, hopefully you're getting the picture here, the idea that you can whittle this down, and the more you kind of narrow this down and identify with one specific personality type, the better off you're going to be. Because as I said, this is how we go about identifying a person that we're going to be having a conversation with. That's what our marketing effort is really all about, is we're going to have a conversation, telling our story and providing value and information and engagement with this one specific person. And this person is kind of like meant to be an archetype of all the people that we want to connect with. It's a personality type. That's what we're after here. Um, and so, what kind of, one thing you might want to ask is sexual preference. You might want to consider that. That's a big thing these days. Are these people straight, or are they bi, or are they gay, transgender? This might be something that, depends on you, depends on you as an artist, what your message is, what you're about, and what kind of message you want to put out into the world. So this might not be something that you're comfortable with dealing with, but it may be something that's important to your overall marketing effort and the people that you're trying to reach. So consider it. Do these people, what kind of music do these people like? What other artists and bands and pop culture do these people engage with? Are they video gamers? Um, are they people who engage with, classic rock? I'm kind of more of a classic rock guy myself. I would be more likely to be caught going to, like, say, an Eagles concert or something like that. And so that's something to consider. What kind of, what are their preferences in that area? What kind of TV shows do these folks like? And what kind of TV shows or media items do these people hate? What kind of things that drives them up the wall and makes them crazy? Um, and another thing to consider is just taking a look at what do these people look like. You want to have an actual picture of an individual in your head, because this is the person you're going to be talking to. You don't want to be talking to some amorphous, ephemeral blob that you have no emotional or spiritual connection with. You want, when you create your marketing efforts, when you create your blog posts or your Facebook posts or your Twitter posts or your Instagram posts, you want to have a person in mind that you're going to have a conversation with, somebody that you actually want to have a conversation with. So it is important to identify, if, let's say, for example, your ideal customer, you've identified that they're male, they're in the 18 to 28 age range, they're middle class, they are primarily Christian, but maybe aren't practicing, but they have Christian beliefs. They maybe work in, they do variety of jobs, like maybe construction work, or some other form of work where they do labor type of work. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty. Maybe they like fast cars, motorcycles, trucks, and again, I'm kind of going from my own experience, because being a Midwestern guy, these are the kind of things that I can identify with, and these are the kind of people that I can identify with quite easily, because that's what's around me. That's what I've grown up with. So yeah, these people may have kind of a low to moderate income. They've got some disposable income, but not a lot. For the most part, going to be straight, not gay or bisexual. Um, People are going to be, for the most part, fairly conservative, more and more leaning towards kind of the center, or center of conservative and liberal. People like, let's say, for my example, I'm thinking of somebody who's more of a classic rock fan or a rock and roll fan, maybe somebody who listens to a combination of country music and rock and roll music. They like action movies. They tend to dress in blue jeans, boots, work boots, maybe sometimes even cowboy boots, t-shirts. Somebody who's fairly fit and active, and somebody by the name of Jim, 6 foot tall, brunette, well liked by most people, not too introverted, gregarious, let's say. So, this is the kind of this is just a profile. It doesn't necessarily mean it's my profile. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be your profile, but these are the kind of things that you can come up with. When you can get to that point where you can identify and you can picture a person in your mind, a person who you might be interested in having a conversation with, and a person who might be more likely and willing and able to engage with you and what it is that you're offering, that's when you've really got something, and that's who you're going to be speaking to, and that's just who all of your marketing efforts are going to be directed to. And again, like I said, it's not that you're specifically trying to just have a conversation with literally specifically this one person, but this person is a personality archetype of the type of fan or customer that you're going to be engaging with. And it's not to exclude any other people. You can certainly bring in customers from other demographics, from other niches, but you're going to focus your effort on this people because this is going to increase your productivity. It's going to increase your engagement. It's going to increase your conversion rates, which is very important. And what I mean by that is the number of sales you're actually going to make. And yeah, that's what we're talking about here. This is what's so important. And this is very important that you actually sit down and do this exercise. And as I said, I know some of you are going to groan and moan, but this is what it means being an entrepreneur. And it is very important. And as I said in the blog post, if you're marketing to everybody, if you're trying to get your stuff out there to everybody, you're not going to be heard by anybody. I mean, you will get a few sales here and there, but you're never going to really reach those goals, those lofty goals that we set for ourselves in the beginning, because you're just not targeting the right folks, and you're probably wasting money, wasting time, and wasting your energy. So really sit down and take this exercise to heart. Try it. Create a profile. Create a profile of somebody, get an idea of what they really look like. Maybe go on the internet and search around for some images that kind of resemble somebody that looks like what you have in your head, and post that image somewhere. Print it up, post it somewhere in your room where you do most of your work. And just keep in mind, this is kind of the person who you're talking to every time you make a video, every time you write a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a Twitter post or whatever. This is the person that you're talking to, and I think you will begin to see more and more engagement, which is so important. That engagement is important to your overall trust with your fans and your customers. It's important to your overall presence online. Engagement is one of the things that Google really highly classifies as important to your overall internet presence. And it's also going to allow you to create trust. It's going to allow you to your customer is going to feel like you're actually speaking to them, which you are in a sense. When you put something out there and you're engaging with this avatar, this profile of this person, you are in a sense speaking directly to that person, and they're going to feel it, and it's going to create trust, and it's going to create value in their own lives. And also by doing this, you'll begin to kind of get a profile, a mental profile exactly too. You'll know what kind of things that these people are interested in, what matters to them, and so you'll be able to speak to those things. And for your customers, it'll feel like you really, really know them. You really, really get them. And that is so important to them because it makes them feel like they matter to you, which is, again, these are the key elements of your marketing these days. You need to create this tribe of people that really feel like it's a close-knit family environment. These are the people who are going to go with you, walk with you as you progress through your music career, and they'll follow you all the way through, all the way up to the upper reaches of whatever it is that you consider success in your career. So I'd like to thank you once again, and for joining me here tonight. And if you have any questions or comments, post them below. And also, this website will be posted at this video will be posted at my website at www.seventhgenmusic.org. Please come and visit us and sign up for our email list, and you will receive a lot more posts with a lot more in-depth information, and because I'm here to help you succeed at your DIY music career. Thanks and have a good night.